Hello everyone, it's Kira and Jessica here to record a little interview for Coastal Illustrated. To give you guys a little bit of background on us, Jess and I are the co-founders and principal designers in the interior design firm Residence Understood. We are based in Washington, D.C., and since COVID, everything has happened. We have started rethinking a lot of things in our lives, just like everyone else, and it has led us to opening up our market to coastal Georgia and Florida to spend a little more time in the sunshine, hopefully. Jess and I both have some personal ties to the area, which we will hopefully get to as we sort of talk through some of our backgrounds and ask each other a couple of questions. So Coastal Illustrated had asked that we do a little Q&A between the two of us so you guys can get to know us a little bit better. I am going to start us off today with a question for Jessica. And she's super excited, by the way. Filming, photographing, her favorite stuff. Okay, Jessica, are you ready?
Yes. I'm
Okay,
ready.
take a drink. Here we go. All right, Jessica. To give everybody a little bit of background on us in the area, can you tell everybody why you decided to go to school at University of Florida?
Well, when I was in high school, I really wanted to go to University of Florida, and top secret, I did not get accepted for undergrad. So I went to UCF, which I actually really loved. And then I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I ended up studying Spanish, which I loved, and realized that wasn't going to take me into a career. And traveled for a few months in Europe backpacking, and somehow had an epiphany, as any 19, 20 does, and realized interior design was what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, and started applying for schools, and was so thrilled to get into University of Florida because my big sister went there, and I just thought it was the place to be. So that's how I ended up at UF for grad school interior design.
And you are from Florida.
Right. Yes. Yes. Not born.
Oh, that's true. Born in Chicago.
Moved there when I was almost 2.
And UF, for everybody, is also where Jessica and I met and fell in love for the first time with each other.
At first sight.
At first sight. Which, man, can I ask you your next question, and then you can ask me a question, because this might just lead into it. What's your favorite memory from University of Florida?
Oh, you want me to say that it's the moment I met you?
Yeah.
The moment I met you. No, I really did see you and like you just because of what you were wearing compared to everyone else in our grad school. I think there were 8 people in that room, and no one else was dressed the way I thought they should be dressed. Not that, oh, that makes me
Not that you're judgmental.
Not that I'm judgmental.
Here, no one's gonna see this.
No, I really liked your top. You had like a ruffly white top, and I thought, oh, she's got good taste. And I'm from Florida, so I guess people don't really dress very well in Florida.
I should have worn a ruffly white top today in honor
of. Favorite memory from grad school? There were a lot. I think, even though I'm not a sports person, and you can attest to that.
I can.
Being at University of Florida when we won how many championships?
With a lot. We were there in the era of Tim Tebow, which may date us, but you know.
We were there for, I think, 2 football national championships, maybe 2 basketball. I don't remember, but it was exciting to be there for all that.
Yeah, agreed. All right, you can go into questions if you want.
Okay, I've got some good ones prepared for you.
Ooh.
Sorry.
We should do this professionally.
Kira, what part of the design process do you enjoy the most?
Clients, 100%. If we didn't, now that's both the best and sometimes cannot be the best part of it, but for the majority of the time, we have amazing clients, and getting to interact with people every day and help them and explore, like what's their sense of style, what do they want their home to look and feel like, and really helping them, to make it a place that they love. It's the best feeling in the world when you have a happy client. So clients, hands down, best part of the process, I think.
I kind of knew you would say that. You're the people person. Not that I'm not a people person. I love getting texts from clients at like 10 p.m. saying, "Oh my gosh, you're a genius. I just love this new ceiling color you picked out for me." Okay, is it my turn? Do I do two
Another
questions?
one if you want. Yeah, if you want.
Okay. Which out of our projects do you wish were your own home?
A lot of them. But recent projects, we had a young couple, which I think had an aesthetic direction that I personally sort of vibed with. They were coming from living in London for a period of time and moving back to DC. And we got to work on their entire house, top to bottom, sort of gut renovate their kitchen, bathrooms, and really pick out every piece of furniture and every accessory in their house. And being able to work on that level from beginning to end on any project is a joy to work on, just because we get to mold it so much. And they were very open to color and pattern and texture, and really fun to work with, which I think made it even better. But we got to use a lot of really bold colors, a lot of really fun mixes of prints. We got to do a bright blue island kitchen. It was just a fun project from beginning to end, fun wallpapers everywhere. So whenever you have a project, I think, where you personally vibe with aesthetically the client on a personal level, it always makes for a great project. But also designing for somebody that has a completely different style outside of what your comfort zone is also equally as fun, just a different element. So yeah, so I think that that's probably a good description of one of my favorite projects.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, when we were doing installs, Kira, if we couldn't find her throughout the house, she was in her new office, which she called her own. With permission from the client, she would hang out in the new office that she had designed, pretending that she was at her own home office. So,
and if I was designing a home office, I would still probably design that exact same one with their permission, hopefully. Okay, back to you, Jess. Get ready. What incentivized you to want to start Residence Understood?
Other than you?
I'm a good answer.
I mean, we had just graduated in Florida at the beginning of the recession, the big housing bust. And Kira had moved up to DC, and she told me about this new land that she had discovered that was full of people that were anxious to have people design houses for them. And I felt like it was just the right time in my life and just the world to start something new, to head to DC.
PowerPoint presentation.
It was a PowerPoint presentation that she gave me to convince me to move to DC and start a design business. And I don't know that I would have done it. I wouldn't have done it with anyone else. Yeah, the answer to that question is you.
And I think I also told you that winters were very mild in Washington, D.C. And because that was like one of your biggest hesitations, was leaving Florida or the coast in general. And I was like, oh, it's super mild up here. And then I brought you up, and within a month, it had the biggest blizzard.
It wasn't even a month. I moved up there, moving truck, drove it in December 31st. We went to a New Year's Eve party in
Directly
DC.
after. Yep.
And then I think 2 to 3 weeks later, maybe I've got the timeline wrong, but it felt like it was pretty instant.
Biggest
Snow hit the ground. I couldn't.
You've been there in 10 years.
Yeah, I called my dad crying because I drove a manual car and I had no idea how to drive on a it was a pretty flat road, but with some incline in ice and snow, and I was just sobbing. Like, I don't know what to do. Oh, it was terrible.
It was awful.
Cursed
but you
Kira.
stuck with it and you're still there.
I'm still, yeah.
And we really haven't had snow since. Which doesn't really make the cold weather any better. You still
I learned that you do need a manual car to drive best in snow.
There you go. Lessons learned.
Lessons learned.
Okay.
I never wanted to learn.
I can do, oh yes, I'll do my next one because it plays into one of the ones that I already answered, which is, what is your favorite project that we have done recently?
I think project that we did, it was the second phase of a project that we worked with a client who has become a dear friend of ours. Came to us with their super tiny kitchen that was divided from their dining room and living room, and just awful. It's one of those kitchens that you walk into where they've got 3 different pieces of furniture to try and accommodate the lack of storage that their kitchen has. It was super dark and dreary. And it was a lot of fun to open that space up to give this client she belongs on Bravo or whatever Food Network. She belongs on her own baking show because she just is such an amazing baker and loves to bake so much. And she just wanted a kitchen that would help her achieve her baking dreams.
Might be the most grateful client ever to have the kitchen that she really wants. And she then paid us with a ton of treats for our effort. So that was well worth it.
Yes. We accept payment in baked goods.
For sure. Absolutely. 100%.
And that was just, I think, such a drastic transformation because of the size of the space.
And the little sunroom off of it. That was like
sunroom,
night and day.
Which really changed the way their COVID lives work, because they get to sit out in the sunroom and work and take turns with their little one. Yeah, that was a really fun project.
Agreed. I love that one. I also love to bake goods. Okay, you're up.
My turn.
Yep.
Because they ask celebrities this question, and you're
actually
a celebrity. If you were not an interior designer, what do you think you would be doing?
Well, that played into our last conversation very well. Baker, 100%. I was just talking to my mom about this today, about how they wouldn't let me go to culinary school. And oh yeah, I wanted to go to culinary school desperately, and they had no part in that. And that's still one of my dreams. If I ever had extra time on my hands, opening up a bakery, learning how to bake bread. I mean, all of that just, yeah, that's what I would do.
I haven't told you, I thought you'd be proud of me. We've started watching the Great British Baking Show.
I fell asleep to it last night. It is.
We're in season 1.
It's my Xanax.
It blows my mind that people know how to do that stuff.
Totally, right? It's crazy.
It's so difficult.
So that's my answer. Baker.
Okay. I support that.
Thank you.
My turn again?
Yeah.
Why do you think that St. Simon's is a good place for our business to be?
Well, I think, so to give everybody a little bit of background on St. Simon's in general for us, close to UF, so we would come up here on the weekends when we lived in Gainesville. My family has had a place here for a long time. My husband and I got married here many moons ago. We have had some good times up here for sure, and it's a place that we continually come back to a couple times every year. It's something that we have talked about, my husband and I spending more time down here, but every time we come, and COVID sort of forced us to rethink things. And right now we are down here have been down here since March, going back and forth to DC working. So with the blessing of the DC team, we have decided to try to see if there's a market down here and a little bit of an opening for our interior design services. Hopefully we can offer a little bit of fresh perspective down here. But I think that there's like a huge shift down here in terms of where it was 10 years ago to the shops opening that are down here. I just think there's like a lot of really young blood and fresh energy down here in terms of the design world. And I feel like we could hopefully contribute to that and bring something to the table.
It seems like it's sort of how DC was when we approached DC with design, like a lot of old school traditional designers in the scene, but nobody with like a new, young, I don't know if we can call ourselves young anymore, perspective, a fresh perspective to the old school design that you would typically find in DC. And that seems like St. Simons as well.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Okay. What's your favorite part of owning a business?
Part of owning a business. Probably the flexibility and ownership is a weird term, but you get to take pride in everything that happens. And it's not just if you're employed, it's not just the specific project you are physically working on, but everything that happens in the business, good or bad, most of the time good, you get to be proud of. But the flexibility is by far, right now I'm in a really cool farmhouse in West Virginia, which even in non-COVID times, this could very well be happening on a Monday afternoon because it's my business and we can travel and do things that we want to do and still, take care of our clients and get work done. And the flexibility is really nice.
And now with a new baby, super nice.
Yes, and a baby.
Okay, I'm going to finish your questions. This is number 6 for you.
Okay.
What do you miss most about Florida when you're in DC? Don't cry. Everything.
Florida has such a bad rep. It's hard to, it's hard to defend, yes. Other than the obvious, which is weather. That's what I miss the most. I think I just miss the way people take life a little less seriously.
Yeah.
DC is a really fun city to live in, but it's a absolutely different paced life than Florida, and I'm sure than St. Simons is probably. I haven't spent enough time there, but people just take things a little less seriously. If you're wearing flip-flops every day and I don't know, it's just life is easier and slower. I think I like the slower pace.
Yeah, totally.
Compared to DC.
Right, you're off the hook officially.
Questions answered. Now I've got 2 more for you.
Okay.
Related to St. Simons. What's your favorite memory of St. Simons?
Toss up. 23rd birthday or wedding.
I don't know. I had fun at both, but I think your 23rd birthday.
Yeah, like I said, we've had a lot of good times here. Wedding was obviously a very memorable event, but 23rd birthday was also a very memorable event. So those are my two answers.
Okay, both valid. I'll let you put those at a tie.
Thank you.
Final question. Why do you think we work together so well?
Actually, we get asked this all the time by people. People cannot understand or imagine that we are literally best friends and have been for, I don't, at this point, know how many years. 15?
2006 we met. That was the white ruffle shirt year. 2016? No, 14, yes.
God.
Sorry.
Long time. We've been best friends from the moment, literally. I can tell you the same story of how I remember you the first day that we met, the first day of grad school, and we had an instant connection. And it's, been a love affair ever since. We are best friends. We've lived together in multiple places, on and off, with multiple different people. Our husbands are our best friends, and they're best friends, and we now have two boys that are 3 weeks apart in age from one another. And
not planned.
Not planned. We have owned a business now for 10 years together. We still love each other, respect each other, and I wouldn't want to spend any time, if given the option. Who do you want to spend time with right now amidst COVID? Jess, you're my number one. But I think that we work so well together, and I think our friendship is, has lasted so long because we couldn't be more opposite in a lot of respects. And I think we balance each other very well, both personally and professionally.
Yes, I think that if we hadn't worked together so often in grad school on projects, that it would have been a little bit harder to commit to starting a business together. But
yeah,
I don't remember if we chose each other as partners in our first project.
At the beginning, I think we just randomly got assigned to each other a ton, and then we realized that we worked really well together. And so then, given the option for the rest of our 4 years there, we opted for each other.
It was the hotel room design assignment. Do you remember?
Yep. It was a concept hotel in like the Bahamas or something like that, right? Yeah, that we had to design. Yeah, no, I vividly remember that. And the spec book for it, which was about this thick.
I think I might still have it at my mom's house.
Oh, I hope you do.
With our perfect grade on it also.
Yes, indeed. It was a good one. We got to look for that now in real life, our Bahamas hotel project. Anybody out there who's got a hotel that they want to start in the Bahamas, let us know. We've got a design plan for it.
Or any other part of that region of the world would be great.
Anywhere down south, coastal, you got a hotel, let us know.
Yes.
All right. I think we have taken up enough of the people's time. Hopefully everyone's gotten a little bit of insight into us. We're excited to hopefully work with some of y'all and spend some more time down here in Georgia and Florida, coming up here as the weather gets colder in DC.
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you, Jessie, for being a good sport. I know not your favorite thing to do, but I think this is going to be a reoccurring thing for sure.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.